National Safety Council says phoning while driving quadruples your risk of an accident, causing 2,600 deaths every year. So it's asking state legislatures.
It's it's just emotionally disturbing. It's to me, it's as it's as concerning as somebody pulling a gun out.
Do you feel that most student drivers at Northville High School understand the dangers of distracted driving?
Most, keyword most, I don't think so.
Have you ever been in a vehicle where the driver was using their phone?
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Like, sometimes unsafe. For the most part, unsafe, I'd say.
Well, if it makes you feel unsafe, do you ever say anything to the driver?
Like, not usually, but like if the roads are bad, I usually try and say something.
Well, why not say something every time if you think it's dangerous?
That's a good question.
I feel like if the roads are fine, it's not really that dangerous.
Do you ever say anything to the driver if they're using their phone?
No, not really.
Why not?
I just don't really pay attention to it.
So if anything that takes your eyes off the road is distracting, then why do you look at your phone when you drive? If you get a notification when you're driving, what do you do?
Usually check it.
If you think distracted driving is dangerous, then why do you still check your phone?
That's a good question.
I think human nature is that we're bulletproof, that it's never going to happen to me, whether that's disease, mortality, accidents, and then when it does, it's too late.
And at about 7:50 in the morning, Mitchell was hit from behind by a young lady who was distracted. He was hit with such force that it drove both cars across a very narrow median. Median's only 52 feet wide, and Mitchell was driven into oncoming traffic where he was hit by a truck, and he was killed instantly. It's just emotionally life-changing. I mean, I received the call from my daughter Juliana when I was driving home from work, and I knew something horrific had happened. When I got to the house and the police officer was here and he told the story, I just collapsed on the floor. I mean, it's the most horrific thing that any parent or any family member can ever imagine. And again, to think that it's so senseless, and it's just a split second of somebody not paying attention that can just destroy a life and change so many lives for forever.
My perspective on distracted driving has completely changed since I lost Mitchell. Originally, I didn't think that anything like this could ever happen to my family, and I'm sure that's what most people think. And that's one of the reasons why it's so dangerous, is because no one thinks that it will ever happen to them. They know that it's dangerous, but they don't think it will ever happen. And people need to start realizing that one text they send or one Snapchat they send could change their lives forever. And after losing my brother to this terrible cause, I will not tolerate it anymore. And I can't ever imagine losing someone else that I love because of this.
We were initially suspicious that something may have happened, just given the nature of the accident. So when they analyzed the airbag module from the young lady's car that hit Mitchell, the data indicated that she was going 81 miles per hour and that she was at 16% throttle and never touched the brake. So that was really the conclusive evidence that indicated that she was still accelerating at the time that the airbag deployed, which is the time of impact. So not certain exactly what the distraction was. We can speculate on a lot of things, but clearly she did not touch the brakes and did not try to avoid the accident at all at the time of impact. if she would not have been distracted, she would have seen Mitchell slowing down. She would have slowed down, and it would have been just like a normal day in traffic that all of us face. She would have slowed down. The accident would have never happened, and we wouldn't be talking about it now.
Have you ever been in a vehicle where the driver was using their phone?
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel nervous.
Why?
Because I'm afraid we're gonna crash. Like they're not paying attention.
It's amazing that there's not more sort of public awareness and just activity to try to stop this when it's happening to so many people.
It's a potential deadly decision thousands of people make every single day. In 2010 alone, distracted driving wrecks have killed more than 3,000 people. And experts say texting while driving is the #1 distraction for drivers.
We talked about it as a family, and we said, we can either let this, destroy us and grieve forever and have that be the outcome, or we can, take the opportunity to try to repurpose our lives and sort of change the course of history and try to help eliminate this horrific problem. We always wanted to change the world somehow, and I think that I felt and my family felt that through this Kiefer Foundation we could help Mitchell change the world in his memory.
My first tip for success is take decisive action. So you have to make a decision to hit your goal, make a decision to make a change in your life. So whatever it is that you want to do, decide that you're just going to do it. When you make a decision, it takes away all your doubt. It's not what if I'm going to hit my goal, it's when am I going to hit my goal, how fast can I hit it.
The foundation is really focused in 3 areas, so we call them the 3 pillars. First and foremost is about awareness. Second is about promoting and the promotion and enforcement of legislation to address distracted driving. And then the third pillar is about technology. We want everyone to feel as though it's just absolutely life-threatening and appalling to have somebody being distracted while they're in a car. So we've been very successful in raising awareness and raising money towards this cause. We've raised over $1 million in this first year. We've used the money for a couple of things. The first and most significant project was the implementation of cable guardrails in the area of the accident where Mitchell's death occurred. Just a few months ago, I was told that 4 of the posts were already knocked down, meaning there's already been a car that's hit that same point. Now, luckily, that car wouldn't have made it across the median into oncoming traffic. That car would have been, and that person would have been saved. So we feel really blessed that we were able to have an impact on some drivers already with that project. A second project that we're really quite proud of was the dedication of an ice arena here in Plymouth, Michigan, in Mitchell's honor. Mitchell was a goalie on the Detroit Catholic Central State Championship hockey team in 2016. So we worked with them on dedicating the rink in Mitchell's honor. So that was dedicated on December 6th of last year. That became the Mitchell Kiefer Memorial Ice Arena, and it's dedicated in the name of Mitchell, but more importantly in the name of distracted driving. We've been working closely with an organization called the Peers Foundation, and this is an organization out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, that has developed a virtual reality simulator that can be put into an automobile and brought into high schools, and it allows young drivers to experience what distracted driving feels like and the impact of it. So basically we put a driver in the car with virtual reality goggles, we distract them, and then the car ultimately will crash, and it hopefully leaves an impact on young drivers on the seriousness of this issue.
If you get a notification while you're driving, do you ever look at it?
I have the do not disturb on while I'm driving.
How much do they stress distracted driving in driving school?
They stress it a lot because they don't want kids getting hurt or injured or anything.
If you can stay extremely focused on watching the road, watching your surroundings, and keeping your hands on the wheel, that will go a long ways towards saving lives.